Every morning, Joseph gets on his motorbike to tend to his field of manioc in the thick bush surrounding Obo in southeastern Central African Republic. But he doesn't feel safe, since there are rumours that the LRA, one of Africa's most notorious and longest surviving militias, are in the area. The rebel group Lord's Resistance Army emerged in Uganda in 1998 as a fanatical Christian movement headed by Joseph Kony. According to a 2013 UN toll, the LRA was to blame for the deaths of more than 100,000 people, the abduction of between 60 and 100,000 children, and the displacement of 2.5 million people. But in 2011, the militia began to be rolled back by a force of 2,000 Ugandan troops, supported by about 100 US military advisors based in Obo.
We've been worried about LRA attacks since 2008, which are often threatening us, and they continue to threaten us.
Last March, the US military announced that the LRA had been reduced to irrelevance and wrapped up its side of the operation. A month later, the Ugandan army began withdrawing its troops. But in the absence of the state in this strife-torn region and the lack of a UN mandate to fight the LRA, the threat still remained. Patrick defected from the LRA with his wife, whom he abducted during a raid in a Central African village.
I was abducted at the age of 15, brought to Congo, South Sudan, Chad, Darfur. Our job was only to protect the leader, to loot and resell. As soon as the Americans saw us, they shot us. So we took other children out of the bush and turned them into soldiers.
Many fighters like Patrick defected or were killed, but since the US troops' departure, the Central African territory seems to have become a refuge for the LRA remnants, who are today divided into 3 groups. 2 of those still answer to Joseph Kony.
There are still kidnappings, mostly of boys, who are then trained by these groups and who become fighters. There is a new generation that is composed today mainly of Central Africans.
The group may have dwindled, but they remain a threat for the Central African people.